Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up with a layout today using a cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict, which is Virginia Walker's cut file shop on Etsy. I'll try and remember to link it below. And I'm actually using the part that probably most people would throw away from the cut apart. I had in my head that I might actually get 3 layouts from the one cut apart that I've done. And so I'm using the kind of letters that would cut out. It's very confusing, but I'm using the part that was from the inside of the letters that you would throw away ordinarily because I thought it still looked cool. And the 2 photos I've chosen are of my son. These were, I think, his second day of life. And for those who've watched my introduction video, you will know that our son Lincoln had to spend the first 16 days of his life at the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne. He's got a condition called TOF-OA, and he had to have some surgery to repair his esophagus. Life-saving surgery. He couldn't have lived without it, but he had to have that on day 3. So these photos were actually taken before the surgery happened. One is of my partner standing with him at the, I don't know what they're called, Orion beds, I don't know, but the bed that he had in the neonatal intensive care unit, the warming beds, and then there's one of me holding him. So you can see some wires and stuff, so apologies if they are a little bit confronting the photos, but you'll be happy to know that Lincoln is perfectly fine and healthy, and he's had his surgery, and at the time of me doing this voiceover, he's 10 weeks old. We've been home for 8 weeks, or not quite 8 weeks, 7.5 weeks, and he's doing amazing. So while I'm scrapping photos that were, I guess, a bit full on at the time, it's good to know that he's doing really well now. So I've got my 2 photos. I thought about using that frame, but I only had one of them, and I would have preferred to have both the photos framed, so that doesn't make it onto the layout. And I'm thinking about keeping the branding strip in. So these papers are from the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Boys Rural Collection, which was a collection from last year. And I'm actually using a Kitaholics kit. So I was subscribed to them for quite some time, and I finished last year, and this was one of the last kits I got from them, and I knew that I was having a little boy and I wanted to hold on to this kit to scrap photos of him. So I'm finally able to break it out. Yeah, and I wanted to keep that branding strip in because I just liked it. Sorry about my dogs. The garbage truck is going past. Let me go and tell them to keep the noise down. Just 1 second. Okay, I'm hoping that will be better, but the garbage truck is probably going to come back on the other side of the street, so they could start up again, but we'll see. So, as I said, the collection is the Cocoa Vanilla Boys Rural Collection, and the title that I've cut, which says Be Brave Little One, not that I've put the little one down, but that is what it says, comes from, as I mentioned earlier, Virginia Walker's Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop on Etsy. And I bought this one, and I've cut it up, and this title is actually kind of the inside of the cut file, which normally I guess you'd throw away. So I will have hopefully another layout coming up on my channel a bit later where I use the rest of the cut file. And I was thinking that I might get 3 layouts out of it. So we'll see how we go. But if I do, I'll make sure to remind you all of the 3 different layouts that I've created. So I've popped up my photos on foam dots. This is a very simple layout. I haven't done much embellishing, or I don't do much embellishing. But because the title is so big and I use pattern paper as a background, which I don't normally do, I didn't think it needed much. So I'm popping up the photos, as I said. So there's one there of my partner and of me with our son, and then I'm going to stick the title down. So I obviously don't make you watch that because it's exactly the same. I just stuck it down with liquid glue flat onto the page, so no dimension under it whatsoever. And then I'm creating a little cluster in the bottom left hand side, and I needed to do that because of the branding strip. That was where the barcode was. So I've put a tag down, I'm adding some word strips, and I think I add some stars. And so yeah, I'm just creating that little cluster down there just to cover that part of the branding strip that had the name, and I think it had the barcode and whatnot on it that I didn't want included on my layout. And everything is just going down flat. I didn't put a lot of dimension on this layout. The photos are popped up, and some of the stars are in chipboard as well as paper, and I think I pop a couple of the paper stars up on foam dots, but it doesn't have a heap of dimension. But I think that's okay. It looks great. I was happy with, with how it looked, or I wouldn't have done it like that. So I just felt like it didn't need a hell of a lot of dimension. And the other thing is, so I'm up to date with printing my photos in 2019, but I've only scrapped 2 12 by 12 layouts. This one and one other of my, you will have seen that in the Confessions of a Paper Addict YouTube hop. If you haven't, you should go and watch it because it was amazing. And I did a photo of my mum and my dad and their 3 grandchildren, so my son and my 2 nephews. And that was the only other 2019 photo that I've scrapped. And my album is already like half full. And we're only up to whatever we're up to, week, I don't know what it is, 13 or something. And so I know that I am going to need 3 albums this year. So I'm trying to cut down on the amount of embellishments that I'm putting on things, because particularly for the first few weeks of my son's life, there are a lot of photos that I want to scrap full page layouts for. And I've taken a lot of photos, and I try to only do 1 double page pocket page spread per week. And in the early days of his life, particularly with the hospital stay, there are a lot of photos. Although, looking back at them all, I have a lot of photos of him sleeping. I mean, how many photos do you need of your son wrapped up in a muslin wrap sleeping? I mean, there's only so many of those photos you can look at. But I have a lot of them in my album. So, back to the layout. I think I have basically finished. So I've put the stars on, which you didn't see me do, and I have finished that cluster down in the bottom, and then I've got 2 other clusters just of stars. I have a look through the clear stickers, but I decided not to include any. There was a pack of sequins that came in the Kitaholic Kits kit for this month. I don't know what month this was. I'm thinking it was like September, July, August, somewhere around then, but I could be wrong. Don't remember. But there were a pack of sequins that came in the kit, and so I am going to put some sequins down, I guess, in place of enamel dots. So I put sequins at each of the 3 clusters. So they are tricky to stick down. I love the look of sequins, but I do find them difficult to attach. So I just put a dab of glue down, and then I try to use my tweezers, but they're not very good tweezers. They're very cheap, and they don't work very well. The sequins get stuck to them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I get them stuck down, but you will see me struggling a little bit with the glue here. So I'm putting away the ones that I don't need, and then I'll get my glue out, and I will do a couple of little glue dots around and stick down those sequins. And then I do add some splatters, because what is a layout of mine without mist splatters? Sorry, cup of tea break. So I have to drink this tea while I can, because my son will wake up any minute now and I would like to drink a hot cup of tea if I can. So here I am. Here's the glue. I could have cut this bit out, but the layout's not very long, so we'll just leave it in. Well, we did leave it in. But here I am struggling. See, anyway. It's all fine. We make it in the end. We get them all stuck down. I cover my photos, at least I think I cover my photos, with something, but maybe I don't. We'll have a look. I don't. I risk it. I risk not getting mist on my photos. I was going to my drawer. Sorry, could have cut this bit out, but I know what I'm doing here. I was going over to my drawer where I keep my mist and getting out my silver mist that I have, because I thought this would be the perfect layout to include the silver mist. And it is an acrylic paint-based spray. I got it from a retreat, and I like it. I was exploring options for gold, because I've nearly used my Heidi Swap Colour Shine in gold, and I don't believe they're making them anymore. So I saw this at a retreat that I was at. They had a gold and a silver version, and I just decided I'd give it a try. So I quite like having a silver mist option, because I think a lot of pages that I make benefit from silver mist rather than gold. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So we are all done. Here's the close-ups. I hope you like this layout, and we will see you in the next video. Alright guys, bye!